Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we are taking a look at the Dainese D-Core No-Wind Thermo long sleeve shirt available at RevZilla.com. So what we're going to see is Dainese is continuing their evolution of the D-Core technology that we saw released last season, and what you're getting here is all that thermal mapping technology, but now a layer of wind stopper over the front of the chest as well as down the sleeves. Now, don't confuse the fact that there's a zipper on this with the fact that it's a mid layer. It's actually going to be a base layer. This is meant to be worn, right against the skin the way that Juice is wearing it on my left-hand side. Now, speaking of Juice, he is going to stand at 5'10", weighs in at 195 pounds, and we measure this massive chest of his at 42 inches. He is currently wearing the size large. Sizes are going to range from an extra small, all the way up to an extra large 2XL. So there are some combo sizes in there for you. Think about this as something you want a nice articulated fit. You want it to fit the same way, underwear would fit, really nice and tight against your skin. When we're talking about Dainese, this is a premium brand. This is out of Europe. They are a premium player. We all know them. We all love them. But keep in mind when we're getting into this D-Core technology, there's going to be some advanced technology within this shirt. So where something like the D-Core Thermo Shirt came out last year at around that $90 price point, what we're seeing when we step up to the D-Core No-Wind Thermo is it's going to bump up to around that $150 price point. And I will say this right from the get-go, I like this windstopper technology better than some of the stuff that we've seen from Dainese in the past. And that's because what they've done is they've actually sewn the windstopper over top of the thermal material underneath. And the thermal material underneath we're going to get to right now as we break this down. So really the base of this shirt is going to be about 85% material called dry yarn. And what you're going to see, it's a nice elasticated material, and the windproof or the windstopper technology is actually layered on top of that. So you get this really nice tight fit with the elastication. And with dry yarn, what you're getting is a wide variety of properties worked into this. So dirt can't penetrate it. So it's not going to be something that's going to hold dirt in. Also, it's Colorfast, so you can wash it in more and more hot water, and it's not going to worry about ruining any of the colors. It's also 100% recyclable, and what Dainese means by that is the fact that it's not going to wear out over time. You can use it again and again and again, and it's not going to wear out like a traditional garment. And lastly, it's going to be hydrophobic, so it's not going to absorb sweat, it's not going to absorb water, and it helps to just wick sweat away. Well, again, the thermal mapping part of that is going to help to concentrate the heat where you want it to stay in on your body the most. This is going to be a base layer you would wear if you are riding out there in colder temperatures. You've got the thermo, and then you have this wind stopping layer on top of it. So as we start with the top and we work our way through, that's really what you're going to see here. So you have that dry yarn as your base underneath. There's also 10% polyester worked in here, and then a 5% elastane is what really works to articulate it. But it's the wind stopper that you're seeing working its way down the arms. And Juice, I'm just going to hold your arm up for a second. What you're going to see on the inside, it's going to be all of that, the dry yarn mixed with the thermal mapping technology and that D-Core technology working its way down the arm. You have the waffle print towards the end of the sleeve, a nice knit to the inside. And then if we take a look on the outside, you're going to see the wind stopper working down the area where if you're on your motorcycle, it's that top part of the arm that's taking all the abuse, and it's really working to block the wind. And as you run your hand across it, you can feel the ribbing from the D-Core thermo technology underneath of it, but it gives you this nice soft feel, so it doesn't really hold onto the overall mid layers you would have on top of this. And then you're going to see a break, because again, that wind stopper that I've, my nitpick in the past is that wind stopper technology isn't quite as articulated or malleable as an elastane would be, and it feels almost bulky and dense. So they've actually worked this out nicely so it doesn't have that feel to it the way the old stuff does. And then they give you a break right in the crux of your arm, so when you're in that rider position, you don't feel like that's bulking up on you. Nice little touch there. Working its way down the front, you're going to see that massive panel of wind stopper working its way down the chest, and it is going to be an auto-locking YKK zip. Juice, I don't know if you face sideways, throw that hand up in the rider position, and what you're going to see down the shoulders, nice ribbing on the top of the shoulders, and this is going to work in that high impact zone, or that high rub zone rather, where if you are wearing a mid layer, this is the area that tends to rub, and they've given you these nice ribbing to the overall shoulders on this to kind of prevent that from happening. And you can see that waffle print technology working its way down the arm as well. And as you look down the back, you're going to see the massive amounts of waffle print on the back, and this is where that thermal mapping technology comes into play to really trap the heat where you want it the most, working your way down the lats. You're going to see the elastication working its way down the side, really giving you that nice articulated fit. Juice, you may face around backwards for me. Now starting at the top, taking a look at this, The one minor nitpick that I have here, they didn't really do a job of transferring that thermo technology that we've seen from the front of the shirts for last season to the back. They've just given you that same technology, or that same cut rather. They haven't manipulated that at all. I would have liked to have seen something where they maybe fine-tune this a little bit more for the back, but it still does a nice job of just giving you that strip down the middle to help wick sweat away, and then it does help to trap the heat where you want it the most to make sure you are staying warm if you're out there in the colder rides. And the one thing that I like about this, it does a nice job of giving you the drop seat. So you can tuck this into your pants. You don't have to worry about the wind creeping through. But the one thing you'll note, they're not going to incorporate any of the wind stopper on the back. So again, one of the downsides to Windstopper is that it doesn't have that elastane worked into it, and by only putting it on the front, one, that's the only place where you're really getting hit by the wind, and two, the massive amounts of elastication in the back really work nicely to hold that shirt or that jacket in place, so it does a nice job of really fitting and contouring to your body. Juice, you may face forward for me. Now this is normally the part of the video where we'd have Juice unzip. We're not going to do that. Remember, this is a base layer, and if he does that, it's just going to be a bare-chested man underneath there, and we'd have all those ladies out there in the audience fainting with desire. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap this up, and if you have any additional questions from folks that are already out there using this, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read rider reviews from folks that are already out there using Dainese base layers. If you have more questions for us about which base layer is right for your ride, reach out to one of our gear geeks at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot us an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Dainese D-Core No-Wind Thermo long sleeve shirt. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.